Here we are.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome
again.
to the MARZ live stream.
Yes, we're back.
Number 300. No.
Where's my camera?
How many live streams there
we should have started counting. We should number these. That would be smart.
I know.
It would be so impressive just to call this whatever, like episode 70 or 80 or whatever it is.
It's been a year, so how many weeks are there in a year?
52.
So we've at least done more than 52. So
I think we got to be in the 70s, I think, by now. 60s or 70s. Anyways,
that's pretty crazy.
Hi. Hi, y'all. Oh, yeah. Hi, Lily. Thanks for tuning in. My gosh, we've rearranged my little monitoring setup here a bit. We have a new TV and a little bit of a camera arrangement difference. So I'm trying to figure out where I should look. One of the things
TV seems fine.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really weird about
you're talking to me, and I'm like right here. You can see me. So
sure. I feel like I'm like looking that way. You know.
Oh, because I'm off to the side here. I can like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Give me the full screen there.
Okay.
There. Yeah. And yes, like yeah, better.
A little chat here.
Totally. So the thing that's weird about this is like I'm looking at a display, and you can't. I mean, I guess laptops often have cameras embedded in displays, but that's not a normal feature in other things. So we have like about a foot behind and a foot above this monitor is a camera. But if I look up at it, I can't see the screen. If I look at the screen, it looks like I'm looking down a little bit.
I'm always looking all over the place, so.
I'm just getting all self-conscious about it right now. It's okay. Because it's a new thing, I'm all freaking out.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Gosh, we're back. It's been a hot minute since we've done any like music stuff, and honestly, it's kind of been a hot minute since I've done any music stuff myself. So we're talking about making some music on the stream, like the good old days. My time has been my free music making time has been spent not doing Ableton stuff. I've been playing with hardware and DJing in my bedroom. Which has been really fun, but so I'm thinking about this stuff, right? Thinking about the DJing stuff in particular.
Carpet.
Oh yeah, Lily does want us to mention the carpet. Jay, you can show it off at some point.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But gotta get a good angle on that carpet. Don't have a camera on it yet.
Here, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been playing around with DJing at home and you know, listening to dance music that I like and practicing mixing those tunes and as a person who makes music too, like I keep thinking it'd be cool to throw in some of my tunes, but I don't have tunes that are in the style of the tunes that I'm having fun mixing. You know, I mean, y'all, if you've watched the stream before, you've heard me make things that I make when I'm like left to my own devices. You know, and it's pretty freeform and pretty weird. And so I was thinking that today we could make a little bit of functional dance music.
Functional.
Functional.
Does that mean you can dance to it?
That is one of its functions, yes.
Okay. I was going to say, what if it's not functional?
Well,
does that just mean it makes you not want to dance?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. What makes a dance tune functional? That's not like a technical term, I don't think. I think I'm just making this up, but. First off, it makes you want to move, right? Like the whole style of music is not about like that is the primary goal is that it makes you want to dance. But you can, within that parameter, right? It's pretty loose. You can do a lot of different stuff. There's a secondary aspect to it though, which is making songs that are useful tools for DJs. So if you make dance music and you want people to hear it, you know, you can like put out an album and release tracks and like albums like anyone else does.
Maybe we'll see if it's good enough.
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll put Corey to the test.
Oh no. Anyways,
of high standards.
Right. Oh yeah, I guess y'all can't see this chat. Lily's wondering if Jay's going to dance.
Oh yeah. For those of you on Access Humble, I should turn that back on actually. We used to have it where the chat came up on the screen, like on the feed, on the live feed, which would be nice, especially since now we're. Let me do that while I'm.
Turn it back on while I'm rambling. Yeah, so things that most people are experiencing dance music. I mean, I shouldn't say most. A lot of people are experiencing dance music, and the way it's meant to be experienced is within the context of a mix. So a DJ has a selection of a bunch of songs in a similar style, similar tempo, similar feel, similar sound. It doesn't have to be super similar, but somewhat similar ballpark. And then you mix those things together. And so some songs are like easier to mix than others. And some, very broadly speaking, the more it has going on and the more like drama in the tune, the like less compatible it is with other things. If you have a tune that's just like a repetitive 1-bar rhythm of drums and nothing else, you can play along with pretty much anything. And so if you're thinking about the job of the DJ in a continuous dance music context, that's to transition between songs in a smooth way so it feels like one long song. You can design tracks that you make in ways that makes it easy for DJs to do that. I'm going to say some things that are kind of genre dependent because different styles have their own idioms around this. Like hip hop DJs don't do a lot of long blending, but like techno DJs pretty much blend.
I've done some long blending in my time. Different kind of blending.
Yeah, totally. You might quickly transition, the tune hits its outro where the tune pretty much ends. There's a little outro, and the intro of the next tune fades in across that, and that's a really basic, simple way to mix. But if you have like a techno track or like a progressive trance track or something like that, you can build it in with these long sections of transitional material at the beginning and end that give DJs a bunch of stuff to work with. So I'm going to get into Ableton and start nerding out about this stuff.
We didn't need to check your NDI source. Oh yeah, it's up. Cool.
It's on. I'm going to scale my display up for myself and the folks at home.
Yeah.
Nice large display. So I have a 909 kit pulled up. Roland drum machines dominate the history of dance music, and the 909 kick is the sound of house and techno. This default preset is peaking, and I'm right away noticing that something glitchy is happening. That my peak level on my master is higher than the peak level on this kit. What is up with that? I'm clipping the master, but not my channel. Super weird. I don't have time to investigate it though, so we'll just turn it down a little bit. Cool. So what is involved in this kind of dance music? So I'm gonna make like a genre thing. So I'm thinking about tunes that I like to listen to and a sort of thing that will go well with it. So I've been listening to, I'm terrible at genres because I think the genre terms are kind of BS. They're marketing terms and not actual musical descriptors for the most part, literally. Except for in this realm where the genre terms tend to hyper-specify the tempo, the instrument selection, and the feel. And so having less experience than some people in this realm, I don't really know what to call a lot of the stuff that I like. Mostly because I'm guilty of liking things that are really like in between things. I've heard them called just like broadly bass music, but that's not right. I've heard it called UK garage. That's not right either. It's sort of housey, but I don't know. Elements of all that stuff, I suppose. But what I can tell you is the things that these tunes have in common is a 4 on the floor kick drum and a tempo that tends to be somewhere between 128 and 140. Very specific, right? So I think of 128 as being the tempo of house music. That's kind of a classic house tempo, though things certainly range a little faster and a little slower. And then like 130, a little faster, tends to like be more techno territory. Although of course this is very loose, very, very loose. And I've certainly been listening to a bunch of like super fun tunes, like that Fortet tune, Looking at Your Pager, is 140. Doesn't feel like it, but it is. So I think I'm gonna like shoot for some like middle ground here and maybe like opt for something around like 132. I want something to feel a little exciting, and that could like mix either way. So mix in with a track that's a little slower, mix in with a track that's a little faster. It's kind of convenient, like middle ground. DJs have the option to like speed up or slow down the tracks they play back. So blah, blah, blah. So let's get in, enter some notes. Here I am in my sequencer. Boom. Why aren't you firing off? So this is kind of our like, this is what we're working with. So this kick feels like too much to me already. I want like, it feels like too much like boom and like not a lot of character to my ear. So I want to, I'm just gonna shorten it. See if that, yeah. So it's still got that thump. But I like that it's just like brief and kind of percussive. Yeah, so I'm gonna start with that. Fun. So this kit has, you know, your generic like 909 stuff in it. And so I'll probably kind of do this thing of like building up a bit of a loop and then retracting it. So there's like this kind of, there's this classic feel of this like offbeat open hi-hats. I don't care for that one bit either though, so let's modify that sound as well. That was a mistake. I meant to hit a different pad, but I liked it. You know the drill.
Put a drill noise in there? I can go like spin the drill out there.
You know the drill.
Oh, I do. Okay.
That's fun. I'm just trying, like, we're going for dumb fun. So let's crop this clip, and I want to quantize it. Cool. That's a fun groove. What feelings do I have about this? Oh yeah, I wanted to add some swing. So before I get any further, I want to swing this. I don't really ever mess with the swing on the push, and I'm not sure how this affects things. So this is like it looks like it's a pre-note entry thing. So if I enter a note now that it's swung, it'll probably be a really late note.
Let me know if you want me to go to a top-down view for you. If you want to show something in particular with the push.
Cool. Yeah, it's not going to get too in depth here. I mean, you can flip it over if you want. You can see the sequencer running over here. So I'm using the push step sequencer feature, which is one of its better features. Whoops. So you can see I have that sound triggering. I don't know how your audio sync is right now, but it's pretty off for me when I'm monitoring.
Is it?
Well, that's just how it is. You know, watching the stream is delayed. Yeah. So I think this is cool. It looks like the swing amount is maybe adjusting the clip, but since I don't have any swing inserted, it's not doing anything. So let's create some swing from the groove pool. So we'll go into our grooves and pull out something that feels right. There's some like interesting, quirky named grooves in here that I couldn't really tell you anything about. But I'm just gonna go for like a kind of a straightforward sort of a thing. So we're going to add, let's try adding some swing. Well, in this feel, I think we're gonna want swing 16ths because we want our 16th notes to swing. We want our 8ths to be right on the offbeat. So we're gonna pull up in a pretty swingy feel. Let's go with the swing 70. And now that it's in our groove pool, we can add it to our clip. Yeah. Now it's funky.
Lily's asking if the button color changes depending on which instrument you
Pull
use.
up the view, I'll explain it. So yeah, yes and no. In this view, right now, it's the way the drum sequencer works is it's split into a few quadrants. The lower left section here these are your like playable pads, and the blue one is the currently selected pad. So then when you've selected the pad, up here in the step sequencer, entered notes are blue, and they if we enter different velocity values, they'll like get darker or brighter depending on how loud they are. And then this section down here is our like length selector, so we can have between 1 and 16 bars. So you notice that these colors are pretty wacky looking. We're seeing some like terrible like scanning on the screen here because of the frame rate of the camera. But you'll also notice that it looks like there's 3 different colors here, but there's only supposed to be 2. There's these like kind of salmon looking ones that's like the currently selected 2 bars. Or if you select 1, it's just 1. And then the rest of these are all supposed to be white. But to my eye, these are the only ones that look white at all, and the rest of them look clearly pink. And it's way worse looking on the camera. So the colors are telling you something, the colors are not telling you as much as it looks like they are, which is kind of annoying. I'm wondering if I can, I wonder if I can demo this, like, I'm gonna like turn this groove off real quick. Oh, here, we'll enter the offbeat closed hi-hats. So open hi-hat on the offbeat, and then on the in-between offbeats, bloop, 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 we get the offbeat 16ths with the closed hats. These are probably going to be too loud, so I'm just going to turn them down right away. Oh, no. Oh, that's because I entered them on the wrong lane. That's funny. Or no. Oh, it's just looping the first bar. That's what it is. So I got to paste this in this other section. Whoopsies. I don't know why it's doing that either. That's very strange behavior. Okay. Nope, it's like this. There's our swing. That's terrible. Here's without it.
I don't know if that's too small or not. Figure out a way to.
And so that's terrible. And with the swing, it's also terrible, I think. Something like tripping over itself. We just got to turn that down. So thankfully, we have this timing.
Cut off too much.
I'm going to shorten that hi-hat too. I keep shortening these samples, and it works out better.
You calling Corey's music wonky? Maybe this should be the name of the track. Kind of wonky.
Sure. So let's characterize this. Like this is like it's kind of sounds cool. I like this sort of thing. Nope. But right away, I like that like idea of that like weird whatever that instrument is. This snare comes off really cool for some reason. So I want more control. So I'm going to duplicate this track and delete everything but that snare. And then I'll delete that snare out of this track. Fire it off. Now it's on its own track. That's a snare. Whatever, if you say so. Let's pitch this thing down an octave. This is going to be our bass. Or it's going to be like a kind of... That's really bizarre sounding. I like it. There's some random panning going on. Maybe we should disable that. Well, let's spread it instead. Yeah. If you're listening on headphones at home, you'll hear that. That's pretty trippy. So, and then let's make it real wacky color limiter.
That's cool.
I don't like that like pop at the end when it like cuts off, so I've faded it out. Hey. I dance to that. Cool.
Yeah.
That's all it takes though, you know, like, so now like whatever, like if this makes you want to move, then we've done a good job. So the thing that makes this cool is the notes that fall on these off funky beats. I'm just going to illustrate that real quick. If we remove the funky notes, less cool, you know? But I'm like, hey, that's maybe an interesting arrangement idea. So what if we copy those clips and then undo that change? And then paste it in. Oops.
Finally found the link I was looking for. What's your favorite font out of all the fonts?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a stupid fanboy, so I love Lino. But you're not going to find that anywhere.
It's pretty specific.
Yeah, it's very specific. It's like $400 or something.
Whew.
Or you can find it on the site for free.
Basic fonts. I think this is probably this is a big list, but I don't know. Is it
Lyno.
Lyno?
It's a.
That's probably not.
I had to go. If you're looking in Canva, they don't have it.
Oh, I was looking on this. I don't know what this list is from, but it's in this app that can change the style of the YouTube chat stuff.
Oh, interesting. Cool. Comic Sans then, please.
Alrighty then.
Or Wingdings. Cool.
Not
so I like this.
A good guy.
Yeah. No. I like this, but I don't know what key we're in. So let's figure this out. And we're gonna like get a couple other elements going, and then we're gonna arrange this in a way that makes it useful for DJing. These things don't have to be fancy, you know. Like something that's really cool about this style of music is like you don't have to come up with like the most brilliant tune in the world. It just has to be groovy for at least a minute, you know, and like sustain someone's interest for like a minute or maybe or two or whatever, you know. So it's pretty cool. It's kind of freeing coming from a place of like normally writing songs and stuff. Like, gosh, just like make something cool and let it be. Liberating.
Comic Sans is not on this list. It's crazy. There's so many other fonts, but
so this tuner's not picking up this note because it's so short. So we'll get out a piano real quick and see if we can pitch match it to something.
I don't know what this is.
It's a note in between those two notes, which means that's an E flat. Scale, E flat. I think it's a little sharp. So, gosh. Now we're getting into the weeds. La bête. Yeah. Cool, better. Sweet. So we got an E flat thing. E flat's kind of a weird key for like a bass note. Maybe though. Let's bring this thing up to a friendlier key of F. So go to our scales. Cool. Pleased with that. Let's add some more stuff. What do you think? You got any thoughts, Jay? Things you want to hear in here?
The flamingo.
Oh, you mean the peacock?
Or,
I didn't get around to tracking that sample down.
What about the Ninja or the
I didn't grab that thing either. So many good ideas.
I thought maybe you just had them in your back pocket.
Well, I've been meaning to grab my drops from that. But no, not yet.
Okay.
Let's find some just like, let's just record something weird from Animoog. I brought my iPad. I brought my favorite iPad synth. So this thing's called Animoog.
Let's see it here. Whoops, wrong one.
Oh, if it would continue to work. Did it just freeze? Whoa. It froze as soon as you changed your screen. That's funny. Was my whole iPad frozen? As soon as I try to show anyone anything on it. So this is Animoog. It's a very strange synth. The idea is that like you have different basically wavetables organized vertically, and then you can scan through them horizontally, and you can make different sounds. I'm just gonna use it in like a really basic way to just design a really basic sound. So I'm only gonna use one of these timbres. So I'm gonna keep my XY pad here down at the bottom, and I can select a sound from here. That's pretty fun. Cool, I like that kind of vibe. It's gonna get us into a major key area, but I like that. Right, you hear that beep? It's making a little chord in there.
Oh, it's pretty cool. Whoa.
I love this thing so much. It's the best, most intuitive keyboard I've found on a touchscreen. Where like I can resize this thing. It can be like as densely populated with keys as I want, or I can like restrict it to a really narrow range. Pretty hard to hit a wrong note right now. I love that about it though.
No wrong notes.
Well, it's just like there's nothing intuitive. There's no tactile feedback on a slab of glass, so it's like not really very fun. Let's get in key though. So we can change our root note to F. Root note to F. Thank you. And then we'll get out of the chromatic scale and get into the major scale. I said we were going to get kind of a major scale vibe. Let's actually get even further. We'll go to the major pentatonic, and or actually, no, I want to hear some full Ionian stuff. Ionian. So I'm gonna press play on this thing again. I want minor.
I'm dancing, you guys just can't see it.
Let's see.
Alright, I should be able to get the chat here now. Matter of where it wants to go.
Whoa.
Well, I won't show up quite yet. I gotta go. Let's be able to overlay everything. There it is.
I'm gonna record that. That's kind of fun.
That should work pretty good.
So we're gonna insert an audio track. Set my. Oh, I gotta set up my inputs. Oh no, they're set up. I'm not really sure whether this thing outputs. Truly in stereo, but boom.
Alright, we should have a chat working now, so our folks watching on Access Humboldt can see what people are talking about on YouTube.
Cool.
Send another test chat here. I might have to make it a little bit bigger. It seems a tad bit small.
So I thought that went pretty well. I'm going to, because we're making nice, tight dance music, I'm going to quantize this and then apply our groove. That thing was kind of cool, but I didn't really like what it did on the repeat.
If you chat enough, you'll get to cover up Corey.
Cover me.
Incentive to chat. Let's see, where's my font size in here?
So I'm going to quick consolidate those, slice back over here. So now here's a longer run where that fill only happens once.
The chat does work, yep. You can see it on the stream.
Wonder what it sounds like pitched down here.
Is that... Uh-oh. Here come the chat. The text is coming for you, Corey.
Creeping on up.
Yep. I don't know what happens if you type a really long message. Maybe it like will go across. It might go across the whole screen, actually.
Cool. How are we doing on time? 5:30. Let's add. Oh yeah, I want to grab that sample. So a huge. Oh, should we sample this?
The classic.
Yeah.
You'd have to do it fast, Lily, because it fades away after a certain amount of time.
I really want to use this. Oh wait. That sounds like it actually like fits our groove. Oh, it warped it. No. Like that though.
That bit through a really long nice. Okay. I managed to, I cut it off a little bit before. That's not too bad.
Cool. We're going to use this loop. Corey's Num Nums. Cool.
Oh,
a lot of the music that I'm stoked on has like all these kind of like tongue-in-cheek, like really strange
I guess I can't put it that way.
little sounds in them. You know, they're silly.
Yeah, I was thinking, I just saw that too. It
Cool.
should be on both of ours.
I like this. I know this is really strange. Let's automate it. So we'll unlink this transposition envelope. Let's make it 8 bars.
Shut down the source is not visible.
Do I want to do this?
Maybe we'll only not have them in our close-up views. Kind of sounds like a cat.
Little nyan cat vibe.
That like noise that they make when they see a bug or something. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. All right. That's a sample of something. That wasn't what I was reaching for though. I was trying to find. Is it not here? Oh man. Well, cool. I have a few random acapellas here. So let's pull one from this track.
Love can touch us one time and last for a lifetime.
Okay.
Once more.
What are these recorded on? They sound.
Oh yeah, it sounds wacky.
Yeah.
These are AI separated stems.
Okay.
The artifacts are from. It's like sounds like a bad MP3 because it's it's like glitching on the, like removing the cymbals. We'll just use that.
That was
one
mixed with the weird artifacts. Sounded very surreal.
Totally, yeah. This is like this is the sound of like a lot, like I was saying, there's these kind of like weird artists that I've been listening to making this kind of weird nebulous music, and this a common feature of a lot of it is like pitched up vocals, but like weird decontextualized vocal samples in particular, you know? So let's set up an intro, and we're gonna set this up in a way that's like easy to like DJ to, right? So let's, oh, cool. They provided this. I love this. I was going to make this, but it's here already. The click layer for the kick. Cool.
Kick layer.
The click layer. So, you know.
Click or kick?
Well, it's the click layer of the kick.
Oh, okay.
Without it and with it. I don't like how loud it is, and I'm gonna go in here and turn that down, but it's a helpful tool. Just change the pitch of it a little bit. Like this is how it sounded better, whatever. So what I wanted to do actually is have just that in there at first. So we're gonna use this
like an ogre. Layers.
Like an yeah, totally.
Ableton is like an ogre. It's got layers. You need to turn on a Shrek theme for your Ableton. All green.
Oh yeah, there's a website called Ableton Themes. We should totally make a Shrek theme one. That would be really funny. Ableton does have some interesting themes. I don't think I have any custom themes installed on here, but we could, yeah. The old Live 9 look. Ooh. Dark mode. I've been keeping all the computers here in mid-dark.
Yeah, I like the mid-dark. The dark mode's a little bit like
a little
the contrasty is pretty high.
Yeah.
I like this kind of muted gray.
Totally. Puts the focus on the clips, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I've used altered versions of this that have like blue highlights instead of the yellow, which I like a lot.
Oh, I see.
So I want to like just blow that up with some crazy reverb. So let's just pull a preset. Special. What's special? Where should she play? She should be singing in the forest floor.
That forest floor, huh? We just, I just watched through The Sandman.
Oh yeah?
And I feel like they could have done a lot more with the sound design in that.
Blame Walter.
Like, it could have been, they could have done some really cool stuff. And I feel like I wasn't necessarily impressed by the sound design. Which I feel like, you know, when you're in this dreamscape, it could have had some pretty cool, you know, they could have done some really cool stuff with the sound design and the composing for it. I just feel like the music was sort of uninspired.
That's a shame.
It's such kind of a cool, you know, like location, I guess, like this dreamscape that I feel like could have used some.
It's like an underdeveloped sound world.
Yeah. Visually, definitely it was like obviously restricted, probably based on budget rather than anything else. But you know, the effects weren't the best either. I feel like if they go back for a season 2, which it seems like probably is, judging by seems like it was fairly well received. Probably up there, visual budget, but still, like, it was more, you know, there's definitely some just like there's placement on the visuals over the sound for sure.
Totally. So, while Jay was commenting on that movie, I haven't seen it yet. I'm really stoked to watch it, but I'm gonna take my time and like actually sit down with it.
Yeah, it's
hard to sound like it's hard for sound to live up to the visuals. I think it's just a thing.
Yeah. The only thing that's ever really given me chills that I can think of recently is the sound design for Godzilla and the King of Monsters movie. Like, just like one little piece of sound design. I think I've talked about it on stream before, but like just the little details put into like the noises that he makes. The Godzilla versus Kong wasn't as impressive to me, but that one for some reason had some like some great sound design put into the just scale of the creatures themselves. You know, that was really really cool. That's like one notable one that I can like think of right off the top of my head that I was like super impressed by. That just like stood out for like, because you know when the sound design is done really good, especially when it just gives you chills, like not even music, like it's just a noise, and it gives you chills. Like,
it's rare, but when it works really good. So I want to check this out. I've been arranging. Those giants in Majora's Mask. Those sounds are super like messed up too. They're like terrible recorded samples, they're recorded and then they have a real limited amount of data available in those carts. So like a strategy you can do, they want a low sound, they record a very short high sound and then pitch it down in the engine. So that's why they sound so lo-fi and like there's no high end on those samples because they're pitched way down.
It's something to do with, I think, like the combination of like some giant creature making this otherworldly sound is definitely part of it, but like just the execution of it, you know, because you could totally mess it up too. Like you can make, I mean, we've talked about like how to make sounds like feel bigger and more like present and stuff like that. And you could totally mess that up if you've got, you know, Godzilla bashing through buildings and then you just like, you know, he smashes a building and it sounds like like you've shattered a window or something. Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to this. Okay. So what I've done is, so I'm thinking about like DJing stuff, right? And so like what would like a DJ want from this? I probably even like made this a little like not blocky enough. I'm gonna blockier it out more. So my thinking here is that like I want things to change super regularly. Like you should be able to guess what the song is gonna do. It doesn't have to be like this, but it makes it easy for anyone to use. So I'm thinking about this as being a functional tool, right? Like someone can use this in a set to like insert and, you know, make a sound, transition between one thing and another thing. I'm gonna add some limiting to the master bus just real quick because we'll like it. It's strange, but I like it. Gonna get a takedown for that Celine sample. Oh, that's what keeps going on with my mouse. It keeps trying to control my iPad. Too smart for its own good. Okay, so I have this set up so things only happen every 16 bars. And every 16 bars is more or less a thing on its own, like an arrangement concept. The drum, like something changes every 16 bars. And yeah, I actually don't really know how this is gonna sound. And I don't have any of my cool little pointer sounds in here. Like, you know, like there are like risers and crashes and all that stuff, but whatever. Let's just see how it makes us feel. Probably, because I just tell you right now, we're gonna hate this sample unless we do something about it. So we're gonna automate some filter on it. And we'll have it open up and then like come in there. there's some like narrative that makes some sense. Like
Yeah, that's sweet.
I like definitely things I don't like about it. Like I felt like it didn't make sense when the kick wasn't in there. I wonder what these would sound like pitched down an octave lower too. Like they're fun down, like, oops. Oh, what? Didn't I pitch one of these down? Like, why doesn't it, like, no wonder I'm curious what it would sound like pitched down an octave lower. Let's do another like auto filter thing to that like sample, and we'll do the reverse one. So we'll like close it by raising it here, and she'll go away. Okay, let's do like a really cheesy thing. I love cheesy things. Let's do a snare rush thing. This is a classic. That setting keeps getting me. They changed this pitch lock thing to be off by default. Wow. So that's crazy sounding.
It's cool though.
I'm gonna keep it simple. I like it simpler. So to make this do something that makes sense, I think I'm just gonna go and try and draw a little velocity increase. Woo! I really don't like programming crashes into my drum loops. This is a personal preference thing. Like I just like want to like pick where I put them, and I don't want to like mess around with loop lengths. So so I'm just gonna pull up a sampled 909 crash and drop it in where I want it. And let's put a few of those in a couple spots. I think those are important sounds to have. Little signifier. Let's do a really cheesy thing. This is a 90s trance sound, where you like 1, 2, 3, 4 on the crash at the end. Like that. Super cheesy. Yeah, cool. So like if I was gonna like try and evolve this into a track that was more complete, I definitely make like these sounds. I'm happy with how it's blocked out more or less, but I want things to feel a little less static. There's a balance to strike between making it change too much. Like a lot of the music that I generally make that you've seen me make on the stream is like about like trying to be clever, like trying to keep it action packed and exciting. But like the thing that's cool about this music, as opposed to being like hot, is like it's simmers. Like it stays like this. It's like this simmering thing, and it's like about like this like holding a groove. And like if you hit too high. And you start creating this like big drama, and you start getting into like EDM music territory with like big builds and drops and stuff, which like is cool, and like it's part of this. It's all part of this stuff, but it's like not this sort of thing I'm referencing when I'm making this. I'm just gonna drop this sample in here a couple of random other times. I feel like there's a lot of ways that I could like make this more interesting, but we don't have time for that. But what I did do is I have like a full 30 seconds here where all that's happening is this click. And so like something I know that if I'm a DJ and I'm mixing this in with another track, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to EQ out any lows. There aren't any lows. I don't, I can, if I'm using sync, I can just hit play and I'll know that as long as I hit it at the beginning of a 16-bar phrase, the phrases will line up and I can just roll with it,
Sick.
Obviously, like, if you're getting into doing beat matching stuff, things become more important to like do them in certain ways or whatever. But like sync is a really powerful tool. I'm personally of the mindset that you should not be afraid of using sync, because who cares? It's supposed to stay in sync anyways, and like, nobody is impressed if you beat match correctly. But people are pretty bummed out if you fail.
I see.
Anyways.
It's pretty groovy.
Yeah, I think I've accomplished what I set out to do.
Oh.
I'm not gonna win any awards for this one.
You're not gonna go in the boiler room next week?
Not with this one tune.
You just repeat it. It's some of them were like going back and like doing the same.
It'll just
just
an
hour.
Totally. The cool thing about since I produced this track, I could DJ with the stems of the track, which is fun. Or I could even like do it in Ableton. Like there's this whole like I could be doing this like making a live mix of this in Ableton with these different clips if we really wanted to. But I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna run out the clock trying to demo that for you. We've never really like.
You gotta break out your DJ set once you're ready to.
Yeah, so I was thinking about doing that here. I'm happy to demo that on the stream, but so much of the music I'm playing will get us get issues. I have a lot of unreleased stuff, but it's probably on YouTube. Like a lot of unreleased music makes its way there, and so like I don't have enough original things that are in the same style to like make a set out of right now. Like my productions are really all over the place because I've never been goal oriented about it. Like
is it usually what they do on there? They've got like the set that they play from that's their own stuff, and they.
I mean, it's a huge variety out there in the world of DJing.
Yeah.
But most of like the artists who are known are playing their own things, and they're like known as producers, and they go out and DJ. And there's like people who are DJs who like don't produce, but like. I don't know. The people I'm paying attention to are producers who are out playing their own tunes mostly.
Yeah.
Because that's exciting. It's cool and
right. You hear something different.
Yeah, and then you can also like they have more flexibility with it because like I said they can use pieces. Like we were watching a stream where like the vocals on the track were on a separate player from the instrumental, so that like you could like. Fade out the instrumental and fade in a new one and keep the vocals playing. So like that kind of stuff.
Cool.
Like if you have access to the stems, you can do a lot more in-depth, intricate stuff. So I've been thinking about this, and we'll just have to like figure out how to do it. Or we could just do it and not care too.
I mean, I want to see you keep talking about the animals. I want to see like that would be a cool set. Like all just like this. Like a zoo, like you've got all the different animal sound effects that you can like mix together like a
getting a set of tracks together that sound like that is the hard part.
That would be...
But we could totally I made a PSA like this years back. I found it when I was going through the archives.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's called Animals Do Art. And it was a beat made out of all animal noises.
That's cool.
It's too bad we weren't doing streams back then. That would have been a cool thing to show off.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. It would be cool next time, though.
Yeah.
Something
I
like
guess
that.
we should close out for today since we're getting close to the end.
I do want to bring the DJ controller in because I've been having fun like showing that to people.
Yeah,
I think
it's
most
cool.
of us
It looks
understand.
cool, too.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think most of us understand like what guitar players are doing and what drummers are doing, what singers are doing, and even keyboard players. We get what that's about. Most of us have like at least seen people playing musical instruments or probably even tried it ourselves. DJing isn't like that. It's really strange looking. I mean, a lot of people are exposed to it and have had a chance to play around with it, but a lot of people haven't, and it's certainly not as prevalent as guitars, and it's there's a little higher barrier to entry, but the technology is it looks a lot more complicated than it is, like a lot of these things. But I could explain to the stream how it worked very quickly. I'll try and get it together.
Cool. Alrighty. Well,
thanks for hanging out and listening to this silly tune.
Yeah, next week, we might be at a different time. We'll keep you updated on the socials.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Go find us on the Instagram. We'll be posting about that. I think we're not sure yet, but we'll be here.
Okay.
We'll be streaming either way.
Somewhere, sometime.
Yep.
See y'all.
Until next time.